What's going on, guys? Seth from Speculating Reviews, and today I'm gonna give you just a big video of news. WWDC 2011 is this week, and the big keynote started about 2 hours ago and just ended minutes ago. I'm gonna give you a big roundup of what news was basically announced in the big conference keynote presentation. Steve Jobs was there on stage to do the actual presentation. He wasn't on there the whole time. He had some other people come on stage and introduce some stuff, but he was there. Reports said that he wasn't going to be there, but the press release that came out like a week ago or so confirmed it. But basically, yeah, it's great. So there's three main things that Apple introduced. First was Mac OSX Lion, iOS 5, and then iCloud. And I'm sure if you're a big techie, you have heard basically everything about what has been going on with with what is happening in iCloud. But first, we're going to start with OSX Lion. I'm personally not a Mac user, so this will be kind of short and sweet. I paid more attention to the iOS part of the actual thing. But there's some major things announced in Mac OSX Lion. First, probably is multi-touch gestures with the trackpad. They look really nice and fluid. They're getting rid of the kind of the scroll bar that you see on Mac and PC in browsers and apps and programs and stuff, to where you just use your trackpad and you don't see any sort of actual scroll bar on the side of your screen. They've done a lot of work with their Photos app. They're adding a bunch of new APIs. A lot of work is going into full screen apps, specifically for the Mac, and as well mission control, which is a big feature, I think. It just kind of gives you a bigger look at all the programs you're running and what they look like kind of on one big screen. Almost kind of like a ScreenFlow type of thing, I guess. You have a new dashboard for widgets. Really cool. So those are probably some of the more major features. Launchpad, which is going to be really nice. Kind of organize your programs, kind of in an iOS look, basically. And as well, resume, which includes like resuming a program from where it was. Very fast, fluid stuff. There's autosave, which is going to be really helpful for a lot of people within documents and things like that. AirDrop, which, if you know what Dropbox is, AirDrop's just kind of a way to get your files from one thing to the other. Almost sort of like iCloud, but you can actually move files wirelessly via Wi-Fi. There's auto discovery within it, and very quick transfer. They've updated the mail application with a favorites, kind of like a little message preview. Some other stuff. I'm trying to go through all this. Some of the major things. New Safari reading, File Vault 2, just a lot of, there's even push notifications for Mac OS X Lion. There's just so many features. You'll probably hear a lot of it. I don't have time to go through every little thing. I'm gonna make this video nice and short. I can't put in photos and stuff for you. I've had some trouble with my editing software, and it would just take too much time, and I want to get this out for you guys real quick. But now we'll go into iOS 5, which they introduced, and I will say right now it is going to be coming out in the fall of 2011, but the developers can get it now if you are a developer for Apple. So first, there's 10 main features for iOS 5. The update is going to be over the air, which is a really big feature. So no more having to go to your PC, plug it up, and get your update. It's going to work well, with the data plans. It's not going to be too much of a hassle. And the update is going to be going on iPhone 3GS, 4, iPad 1 and 2, and then the iPod Touch 3rd and 4th generation. The 10 features mainly Notification Center, which is probably the biggest thing people wanted to know if the notifications was going to get revamped. If you've seen one of my videos featuring Mobile Notifier, it looks very similar. There's kind of a notification center that kind of has everything centered in one thing. There's a slide down menu from the top. Looks just like Lock Info. You also can get notifications during while you're using games and apps, and it's not going to be interrupting you. It's just right at the top. As well, on your lock screen, you'll see your apps and ways to get into the apps from the lock screen. So that's basically Notification Center. There's also Newsstand, which I'll go over very briefly. Basically, just subscription to magazines and newspapers. We've heard about this for a long time, and it's good to see it's actually here. There's going to be Twitter integration with photos, apps. It's going to be kind of like an API, so you can have Twitter integration with apps you use. So it's going to be really quick to share, updates and stuff from other things, like inside an app. So say if you take a picture and you want to share it with everyone, right from the Photos app you can do it. Very, very nice to have such Twitter integration. There's new iOS reminders, which basically kind of are reminding you with different little post-it notes, and I'm pretty sure you can sync all these reminders as well. Very, very nice. Really a good feature. They also did some Safari updates with Safari Reader, which you can kind of take like the text out of a story, and it will set it aside, and you can actually read it without any other distractions from a website, and just read the actual story. There's tabbed browsing as well. Some new camera features include a camera button right on your lock screen next to the slide to unlock, so you can go straight to your camera app, which is really, really nice if you want to get a quick picture instead of having to go through everything. You can now use the volume up button on the side of your iPhone as a shutter button, which is really nice feature. I like that a lot. It makes it a lot easier to take pictures. You can hold your finger down on a certain area to lock down an exposure, to kind of help with lighting. There's new photo editing features such as cropping, rotation, red eye reduction, and other enhancements like that. There's a split keyboard, a thumb keyboard, which it splits the keyboard into two parts, makes it a lot easier to use your thumbs for the iPad. So it's not just a huge keyboard, you can actually make it a lot smaller and easier to use. Like I said earlier, PC free, everything's going to be over the air, wireless syncing, no more having to plug up your phone. Very easy setup. When you actually get a new device, it'll set you up right from there, so you don't have to go and plug through everything and set it up on your computer. You can just set it up right up on your device. And last but not least for iOS, iMessage, which is basically a take on BlackBerry messaging if you own a BlackBerry device. Basically, you can message through group messaging, all this other kind of stuff with iOS devices, iPads, iPod Touches, and iPhones, working over Wi-Fi or 3G. And really good for the use of the push notification system that they have put in. Looks really good for iOS 5. A lot of other different APIs and stuff involved, but I can't wait. I really can't wait for iOS 5. And last but not least, iCloud. So iCloud is basically their wireless storage system in the cloud. And there is 9 cloud apps that are with this. Of course, this is the end of Mobile Me. There's no more Mobile Me. It's just iCloud. Some of the apps that do take this are Documents in the cloud, Photo Stream, Pages, Numbers, and Keynote are synced in notifications. Calendar, Mail, and Contacts. Photo Stream, as I said. A lot more apps, as well as iTunes, and the fact that you can get all your music stored into the cloud. Basically, there is a 5 gig storage limit, but that doesn't include apps, music, iBooks, or I want to say something else. All of that, there's no limit. So 5 gigs for documents and other things like that. It doesn't include music, books, photos, videos, all that kind of stuff, which is really great. Good move by Apple on that one. And last but not least, iTunes matching. So iCloud as a whole is free. All the apps are free. The whole program is free. But there's a new feature, which is the one more thing Apple introduced, which was iTunes matching. And basically, it takes your music that you've ripped from CDs or other sites and stuff, and it basically can either upload it to iCloud or match it with an iTunes song, which makes it a lot easier to get into iTunes. And if it can't find it, it will automatically upload that to iCloud. And all this music will be 256 kilobytes per second DRM free files, which is awesome. And the way it just syncs with all of your iDevices on iOS is just absolutely great. Very fast. They showed in the demo buying a song from your iPhone or taking a picture, and you check a second later and it's right on your iPad. So this is just a huge boost for Apple in the mobile phone and computing era, you could say. It was a great keynote. So many new features. Everything's going to be coming out mainly in the fall. iOS 5, of course, is free, be out in the fall. For developers, it's coming out in beta today. iCloud is actually coming out for iOS 4.3 owners for beta, which is really nice. OSX Lion is going to be available in July for $29.99, which is really cheap, right from the Mac App Store. So very good job with it today. Apple has brought a lot of features to the table, and I'm going to end the video here because it's getting really long. Basically, Apple is owning the mobile world again. See you guys in the next video. Again, there was no new iPhone, so don't expect that until probably later in the year. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be having some E3 coverage as well, so check those out. See you guys.